What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at lighting in the world of Condor 3. We're going to take a look at the setup, the features, and flying around in the sim. Let's get right into it. So first you want to go to Condor's website, condorsoaring.com. And we can look, you want to buy the sim right here. You can look at Condor 3 in the XC version. Here's all the planes you can get. They're mainly for 10 or 15 bucks. A lot of cool ones there. And maybe pick out one that you're training in or you just think it's pretty cool. Over here is the multiplayer page. So if you click on Condor version 3, that's all the Condor 3 servers. You can just click join and it'll open your Condor app with the IP address, and then you can just click fly and it'll load you in the map. Website is Condor Club. If you go and type in www.condor.club, it'll bring you to this website. If you go home and create an account, then you can go over to the landscapes page and download the Condor Updater. It's the best way to get sceneries, and it should be free. So if you click on that, then it opens up the Condor Updater, and you can see all these sceneries down here. There are a lot of them. A lot of them were made for Condor 2, but they should work with Condor 3, and there have been some updates to take advantage of the new sim as well with the old ones. And it's super easy. You can update all your sceneries when there's a new one out, and there's mine right there. Okay, so now let's take a look at the in-game settings. This is some of the display settings. The VR settings here, it's really good. But today we're gonna be flying in 2D, so we'll turn that off. Game's super easy to run. I'd run it at highest graphics you can get with your computer. Effects, a lot of it's loud by default, so turn that down to your liking. Here's some of your inputs. I like to add a little curve to make my planes more controllable, since it's so sensitive by default. And then this is where you can map all your binds. I have a Logitech X56, so I can put a lot of stuff on my HOTAS, but if you have something cheaper, you should be totally fine. It's a lighting sim, you don't need a lot, but just make sure you map something because you can't click in the game. So now let's go take a look at the landscapes in the game. This one's called AA3. It's the Alps, so you got Switzerland, France, Germany, Italy, and Austria too, I think. This is the Cascade Range, so bits of California, Oregon, Washington. Pretty cool map. Here's Wurtsboro. This is the scenery of where my own club's located. It's got a lot of the northeast and mid-Atlantic. There's PGC there. There's a lot of good satellite. And today we're going to be flying on Slovenia. This is the map that comes with the game. It's really well detailed. Totally free. It takes up a lot of space. That's, I think, a lot of the download size of this game comes from this map. But the 3D is really good and the mountains are really cool. Really fun map. You're going to see a lot of the multiplayer going to be on Slovenia and AA3. So we're going to take off at this airport today. We can make our task. There's the start right there. There's the first turn point, second turn point, and the third turn point. I tried to make this the finish, but past me kind of messed this up. So there we go. Now if you look on the other side, you can go and edit the properties. So you can make these circles, half circles, or just quarters. I tried to switch it up a little bit. So this is the weather. We can go and adjust the wind, north, south. We can change the speed and direction, all with this little arrow guy. We're going to go from the north today, around 15 knots, to see if we can get any ridge. The ridge in this game isn't great, so not a lot of lift. Here is where you adjust the clouds and the thermals. You can change the temperatures. I went with very wide and really strong thermals for today. There is wave in this game. We had gotten pretty high with it, and it works pretty well. You can change it there. And there's just upper cirrus cloud coverage. So here's the hangar. Lots of free planes to choose. Not all of these on the list come with the game. You have to buy those separately from that store where we looked earlier. And I was going to go with the Duodiscus today, so let's see if I can find that. There it is. So when you go on the settings page, you can adjust the polar by adding and removing water ballast. Or in the case of the Duo, you can run with 2 pilots, and you can choose to run with the back seat or the front seat. If you're in multiplayer, if you click on back seat, then the person can click and will fly in your front seat. So we were gonna go with water ballast today, but I accidentally messed up some of the settings and I forgot to go and rechange it. This is the settings page again, or the NOTAM page. So you can go and adjust the rope length. We went to 200 feet because that's what I know. You also just have some other rules and penalties you can adjust here for proper task flying and multiplayer stuff. Alright, so let's get to some flying now. We're gonna press escape and click ready for takeoff. There's the beautiful Duo Discus. We were trying to fly 2 people today with water ballast, but I accidentally clicked the wrong setting, so it's just gonna be us with no ballast, and that's okay. We're gonna see the Pawnee start to line up in front of us. And once he's in position, we'll have an auto. Our winds will go level with the Windrunner. So the stick's all working. We're good here. Slight crosswind. Speed's coming up, almost 40 knots. Slight back pressure just lifts us off the ground here. I should have kept a little bit lower. Started to get almost into a cutting position, but the Pawnee got up, so we were okay. Nice tow here. Rudder's still a little sensitive. Sometimes this can happen. I still need to figure that out from time to time. Randomly will spaz out on you. So we'll keep on towing up here. This is the flight computer. This is the default one. There's also an LX9070, which is a real-life flight computer that costs like $5,000 or something. But it's in the version of this game, and you can go and edit the profiles and everything. I'm just going to use the default one for today. And I have all the buttons mapped on my stick. So we can see up in the top left corner, our race starts in 8 minutes. That's when the start gates open. So we're going to go on tow and then find a thermal, and then we'll hop in the start gate and begin the task. We're just going to keep on following this beautiful Pawnee and get up to altitude. I will get back to you guys once we're closer there. See you soon. Alright, so we're getting close to release altitude. Pull the yellow release there. And we're gonna make a right turn. So what's weird in Condor is I think the plane always tries to turn back to the airport instead of turning left, which is what you're supposed to do as a tow pilot. So he's gonna accidentally fly over us. We just pulled the gear up to get some better aerodynamic efficiency. Yeah, you can see he's flying over us. Not the safest move, but it's okay. For the sim, of course. So ridges will sometimes kick off thermals, and that's what we just found here. We're going to start pulling up and turning back into this. We can see the varios starting to beep and get louder. Lift's going up. And we're going to start banking and see what we can do here. Again, I set the thermals really thick and wide, so it's really easy to center and fly with it. When you're first starting off with this game, that's what I would recommend. It's also more fun. But we definitely had some challenging days where you've had to outland. So let's see if I can get this centered up. We can see that it's a lot better lift on this side, so now we're going to start turning again. So you can see how we kind of extended that circle there. Vario is going crazy. That's about 14 knots upward. I'm going to just mute it there. You can change the Vario volume in-game, which is a nice feature, just to get kind of loud. Especially for the viewers who don't understand the symphony of a Vario. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ride this all the way up to cloud base. I'm going to skip it out for you guys. I will catch you back in about 2 seconds here. Alright, so we're finally getting up to altitude here, almost at cloud base. We're gonna take a couple more turns, and then we're gonna head out and start to towards the start gate. As we were turning, the start gate opened, so now we can go and head towards that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit on the map so we can see that over there. And yeah, let's start slowly flying over there at around best Liberty. Still in lift. It's a really easy day, so we're not too worried about conserving altitude. We're going to start turning in. In real life, you usually have to stay around 2 minutes, or there's some sort of height limit also with the start gate, but I didn't set anything for today. Just make sure you look at that when you start these tasks. It'll usually show you a height box next to the zone to tell you how high you can start at. So it's yellow, which means we're in it. And we're going to aim towards the first turn point and exit. So task started. And we see a couple good lines ahead of us. I'm going to go straight and kind of follow the ridge and hope some thermals might kick off of that. You could probably do this whole task without even doing a thermal just because the duo is so good with... It's such a high performance slider. And it's not that long of a task either. Big winds, cool flyby camera there. If you get the XC version, you can get bug wipers, which you can map to your keyboard. And you can also adjust the bud levels, so you can... I set it to no bugs because I don't like having bugs that I can't get rid of. But you can set it to super high bugs and then see the bug wipers go in and out. It's kind of cool. There's also a McCready you can set. So once you get to that point, I don't have it set right now, but we saw that those thermals were crazy, so you could set it to a decently high number, and that will give you your tasks, your cruising speed you should be aiming for. It's super complicated concept for those who don't know, and there's plenty of videos out there you can go look up about McCready. So I'm gonna cue the music. So I decided to pause the time lapse for a few seconds here. We found some pretty good lift, so it might be worth for us taking. We're gonna do a couple circles to get back up to altitude, but we're gonna head back to the inspirational glider video music right now. See ya. Alright, so we're getting closer to that turn point now. I'm gonna go and head away from the ridge and start aiming for a little almost tangential line where we only hit one point of the circle kind of thing. Anyways, we don't have to go all the way into the circle. This isn't an AAT task where you get points for how deep you go into it or a minimum time. So we can just cut the side for the shortest path possible. And that's what you do in sort of these, I think they're called racing tasks or something like that. So we're going to just go and aim, flip the corner, and then head to the next turn point. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos so far. I really like making videos. We're going to start a new glider series on the channel. And I hope this gets you a little insight into the cross-country world. Condor 3 is a great platform to practice cross-country with no risks as in real life. And it's super fun. A really good challenge. You can fly with friends. So yeah, hope you're enjoying the videos so far. And we're going to go and get back to the time lapse in just here a second. So we just got the turn point there. We're going to start turning towards that next one. Usually don't have different shapes like this, but that's just how I modeled the task. Anyway, see ya. So we just went and turned that second turn point, and now we have a few decisions here on where we want to go. I'm going to follow the ridge again. Looks like there could be a good line here, and maybe we'll get some more lift. Oh, there's some lift right there. We definitely have final glide made. We can go super fast down there, but we're going to take a nice long little break in this big thermal and slow our airspeed down so we can stay as long as we can in it. We're not going to circle because that's kind of a waste of time. We don't need to now. But it's nice to have that extra lift while we can get it. And this is a super big thermal. Look at this. It's still going. Now, I haven't put much calculations into this task at all. It's just kind of to show you. But there could be a point where once you decide, oh, we're going to make it, let's just drop everything and speed for home. That's another McCready kind of thing you can do. Anyways, we're going to get on this final glide super fast. I'll see you soon. Alright, so we still got some altitude to burn, so I'm going to show you guys a little thing that's modeled in the sim here. It's called a flutter, and it's when you overspeed. So you see we're getting close to the red line there, and we're going to keep pushing it. Never do this in real life. This is really bad. You can see wings start flapping due to the overstress and the overspeed. And pretty scary thing once you get into that, but true airspeed goes down, and so does your never exceed speed, so just be careful when you're flying at high altitudes. Alright, so we just turned to the final zone of my weird task, and boom, finished. Here I'm all clap for us. We got task speed, I think, of 72, 73, yeah, 72 knots, which is pretty good. Pretty good speed. We could have done even faster, I bet. I just didn't do this. So let's do some maneuvers now, see what the duo can do in the sim. Nice little loop. I didn't pull hard enough back on the stick, but we should do a little bit better in this next one. Ready? Speed up. Almost dropped out. I opened the water ballast there because I forgot that I didn't put any water in the plane. But that's usually what you dump before landing. Do some rolls here. We'll try a little hammerhead. Look at that. Love these flyby cameras. That's something I wish that Microsoft Flight Sim would do, because almost all the big ones have it now. We're gonna do some slips now, see how that handles. It's when you go opposite aileron, opposite rudder. Helps slow down your plane, create more drag. You can hear the way the wind hits. Makes that noise. We'll do one on the other side. And we'll try a little stall here. If you know your 6 signs of a stall, drop them in the comments. Correct with the opposite rudder. Not too bad. We'll speed up and pull up a little bit harder. See if we can get a little bit more of a stall here. decent recovery. Stalls, of course, aren't that violent if you don't pitch up that high. And then proceed to go and try to get the plane to spin, but it doesn't, so I'm gonna skip that for you guys. Alright, coming in for a landing here. Kind of going on a crosswind, and then we'll turn for a left downwind on this runway. Put the gear back down and open the dive brakes. If you hear the dive brake handle flapping around, that's just because I have it on an axis, and sometimes I pull the axis out a little bit on accident. I need to map a little dead zone so it stops happening. Anyway, landing checklist is undercarriage, we just put down. Speed we're gonna do around 56, 60 knots probably. We're gonna trim, make sure we don't have to deal with that. Air brakes, we checked work. There's no traffic and the airport's right there. Getting a little bit low. Kind of hard to judge in the sim without any VR or anything. Take a nice turn here. Keep the string straight and speed solid. Looks good. Alright, now we're getting a little high. Let's pull the dive brakes out. Make sure to push the nose down. Don't lose your speed. Final turn. Looking good. And pull some dive brakes out. Get nice. We're going to try and butter this landing. This has honestly been one of my best landings I've done in the duo. Hold off the flare. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Nice bounce. Reminds me of this clip from Steve Fly.
Nice landing!
I'm always trying to say the nice landing when you land. Anyway, we're going to slow down here and pull right on up to the trailer. Not too bad. Add a little wheel brakes. Perfect. Didn't drive the wing or anything. Anyway, guys, that's Condor 3. I hope you enjoyed the video. More glider videos coming soon. I'm going to give you a little background about my career over the past year. And some more streams coming soon. So hope you guys enjoyed. And see ya.